Esau for is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, and death, and mourning, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, by straw, saith Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua.
On. Okay, that's the kind of rules that are in here. In here, it's not 2021. In here, it's what, Cabal? 1300 or what's the year in here? 55 BC. Right here. That's the year it is in here. Okay, so America says 18. 18 is a starting point, but it's not 1 West 18. Here's the actual age. Once you get to 18, the actual lawful age that a woman is able to marry is when her father tells you you can. Okay. Please.
What about her father?
Every woman in the truth has a father.
Flower.
Her flower is the budding of her womanhood, but it doesn't make her a woman. You get my point? A period is like saying you are a man when you begin to get hair on your genitals. When you begin to get hair on your genitals, were you a man?
No.
Yeah, of course not. Why? Because a grown man could take you and smack you in the face and knock you down in the street. Especially if you touch his daughter. You get the point, right? Right? So that doesn't make you a man because you begin to get a little mustache when you are what? 11, right? 12 years old. But what is a little mustache? When you start getting it, what does it mean for a boy? When you get hair on your genitals, what does that mean for a boy?
Becoming a young man.
Say that word again. Say that word again.
It's becoming a young
Say that first word.
Young?
No.
Is becoming?
Say it again.
Is becoming?
That's what it is. When you see a little hair on your lip, you're not a man, but you're becoming a man. You can't go and now, sign up for the military in the white man's world because you got a little mustache on your lip or you got a few hairs on your scrotum. But it does mean you're becoming a man. Well, a girl, when she has her flower, her first period, she is becoming a young woman. She's becoming. It's the start.
It's all right. Give me that. If the Queen sees, I can have Joffrey's children now. Help me flip it over. Where are you going? To tell her grace. You'll say nothing to anyone. Do you understand?
Her flower is the budding of her womanhood, but it doesn't make her a woman. You get my point?
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Also sincere shalom to you other elders, Akim, you brethren. And let me say shalom to you few sisters, and let me say shalom to the elect. Okay, I want to go in this video here. I'll try to make it short and quick. Just to go into it a little bit, this I don't know, is he captain, officer, or general, one of the few who is going into the marriageable age. And we do these videos for correction. It's not that we'll tell anybody, according to the ancient times, to marry someone that young, but we will say that he's off all the way around the board. He's just gone. He's just completely off. And a lot of it is to appease and please women. And we're not here to please women. We're here to please the Most High, and we're here to tell the truth according to scriptures. So you hear him talk his way all the way around it and say that, when a woman has a period, she is becoming, right? We'll get into that to prove that's absolutely wrong. Now there's a fine-tuning process when some women may have their periods at 10 years old, 11 years old. If they haven't had a full period, they're not prime, so to speak. We'll get into that. But mostly, a woman can hit a period around 12, 13, 14 years old. And I'll say this, the Most High don't make mistakes. I'm talking about, at all, but things happen because he has it to happen. But when you look at nature in itself, if it wasn't legitimate and if it was not lawful to do so, then the woman would never get pregnant at 12 years old. Does that make any sense? Why would the Lord say, okay, you can get pregnant at 12 years old. I mean, you can get pregnant at 12 years old, but your body says it's okay to. Just like the month. The word month means moon, and the month has cycles. So does a woman. This is why men had different women, more than one wife. You had cycles, and women came on their periods, and you couldn't be with them, okay? They had to go through a purification period, time, okay? So, this is not making any sense, what he's saying, biologically, naturally, it shows that women are able to have children young. He also says that a man is not a man because he got a little bit of mustache, he got puberty. What's not understood is the development process of someone that is that young. This is why they're always put with somebody, or especially a younger woman is put with a man that she can grow with. This is why even in this society, when a woman hits over 30, she's out of the prime of having children. She's 35 years old, she's got to go through all these tests that says she's too damn old. So what is her age range to have children? 10 years? She got to wait till she's 20, 18? So she got an age range, a range of ovulation or fertility, let me say that, for 12 years, 10 years. That doesn't make sense. You look at the animals and as nature and the insects and everything else. They don't say, well, it's been 5 months. I gotta wait till 9. I gotta wait till 9 years, or two extra months. It's when you're ready. Okay. People try to seem like it's something out of the ordinary. It's nature. This is why women get hormones. Men too. It's nature. You can't stop it. And these guys under this 501c3, they're kind of set up and they're pushing the agenda. Okay? They're pushing that agenda. Let's go to the scriptures before I read the article. 1 Corinthians 7 and 30. I'll just get to the point. But if a man that think that he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she passes the flower of her age, which means the prime of her youth, and need so required, let him do what he will. He said, if not, let them marry. So you got people in these commentaries I looked at that said, oh, they're just teaching the rape, and this is not how the Bible was supposed to be. This is because man wrote the Bible. Meanwhile, these super elitists that understand what's going on, they don't believe the stuff that they're pushing out. You better know that. I bet you there's arranged marriages then. See, they're putting that stuff out there, but when it comes to them, they don't do that. They say, no, we're not doing that. I'll give my wife away. Look, when you go into what you call the church and they talk about the groom and the bride, the groom grooms the bride. Okay, which is a form of making her the way he wants her to make her. Okay, that's why they call it the groom, and the bride the bridal is set to be controlled. But this is hated. This is Western culture. This is what we see here. And this word for the flower of her age means the bloom, the prime of her life, the ripe, plump and ripe. Okay, that's what that means. Plump and ripe, like a watermelon is ripe to be picked, or any fruit is ripe. Okay, and just they're just not making any sense. You know, this society can say, okay, you're 15 years old, you committed a crime, we're going to charge you as an adult. Wait a minute, I thought you was you was too young to have sex, right? Too young to have children, but you're old enough to go to jail. Look, even in society, that's another thing he's off on. He said here in the Isupk, we wait till they're 18. That's true if you're an adult in this society. But if you got a young man that's 17 years old, he could still have a 16 or 15-year-old. Okay? This society is putting it the way that they're putting it. In this society, if a 16-year-old woman who's able to commit a crime and be charged as a woman, used as a woman, who sleeps with a 40-year-old man, and this man gets charged, she should just be just as responsible. All of a sudden, she doesn't know what's going on. All of a sudden, she was taken advantage of. Until she does something to the system. But anyway, that's another video. I'll read this little article. Marriage ages in the Bible. See, everybody knows except our people, man. What was the average age of women in the Bible to give birth? What was the average age of marriage in the Bible? This is why I showed you in the clip of Game of Thrones, which I credit to another brother, I can't remember, who actually brought that clip out as well, sent me that clip a while back, and I looked it back up. They showed you, man, you know. In the biblical times, among faithful children of God, marriage preceded producing offspring. Further, God's people valued children to the extent that giving good physical health by both prospective parents, children typically entered marriage as early as 9 months after the marriage. Part of this paragraph 3 of my edition. Let me go on. Also, under Judaism, boys could marry or make religious vows at 14 years old and girls at 12 years old. It is proven that young women, they're not girls. I don't know why they say girls. They're still girls until they pass the flower of the age. They have their period. If you notice and you pay attention, you have to be around children to know this. When you're dealing with young girls, so to speak, I'm talking about 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. They're highly more talkative. You know, they learn. They're able to grasp things quick because they're coming into motherhood. They are coming into the time when they hit 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, they're coming into motherhood. Have you ever wondered why a 5 or 6 year old girl always want a doll? And why does everybody always give them dolls and they want dolls? You know, little play school dolls to play with? There's a reason for that. Right? And then you had men, and even when it went off the war, they was like 21 years old. Some of them had wives, you know, had children. Anyway, both only which parental permission was acquired into both boys and girls were 21 years old, right? Goes on to say, ancient marriages were usually arranged between the oldest male family members within the same group of family clan. This is why the Lord is bringing what he's bringing to this place, because he's not going to destroy anything that's righteous. So it's got to be made unrighteous. This guaranteed for future existence of the overall group and preservations of the cultures and values. Girls were given in marriage when they were old enough to bear children. There we go. What age would that be? You're going to put a timeline or age on when a woman can have a child? You know? You're going to say she got to be 18 years old to have children? Who made up that and why? Okay, and even in a society where they're still having children at 14 and 15 years old. Whereas men married when they either received their inheritance or obtained their own resources, right, which was passed on down. It was also common for the groom to give a dowry. Okay, let's see what a dowry is, just to get more understanding on that. So when I look back at it again, maybe some form of contract, I don't know, let me see. It says the money, goods, estate that woman brings to her husband in marriage. Okay, a natural talent or gift. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, because women played a role in that. It was also common for the groom to give a dowry or purchase his wife from his future father-in-law, right? So she would have to bring something, right? In the case of Jacob, since evidently had no such dowry, he indentured himself to his father-in-law in exchange for his wives with an S. That's another thing. He had more than one wife. Where all this come from? Well, we know what that old guy Bill Gates talks about with the control and all that stuff. So anyway, I didn't have much to say on this. I just wanted to talk on this and show you that according to scriptures, this guy, the general or whatever his name, I forgot his name, began for M or whatever, he's going way off. Okay, he's going way off. He said whenever the father says it's okay, there was laws set up. See, he's just going right around the laws. So the father can say it's okay. It's all right for you to get married at 7 years old. That would be off. And why would a father want to marry, especially in the ancient times, even today, marry his daughter off at 35 years old? She's past the prime of her life. I mean, her age, she's way past. Why would you want to get married as a woman at 40 years old? Now, it does happen in this society, but you should be wanting your children at a young age. That's when your body's set up for that. Women now trying to marry at 40, 50, 60. It's crazy. Anyway, the age, he's completely off, man. The general, he's off. The age is anywhere from the time they have their periods, and I'm talking about full-blown periods, which we're not talking about 9 years old, 10 years old. We're talking about full-blown periods where they might start at about 11, right? And they will, when you have that full period. Hey, there was cases where women had babies at 11. If God did not want a young woman to have babies, she would not have had a baby. That's why you call the Virgin Mary who had a baby. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.